I have had recently a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. And we discussed two topics that I think is important for the people of St. Martin to be informed of. First of all, seeing the aftermath of the passage of Hurricane Irma with the destructions, especially observed in Jamaica, and seeing that we have a great diaspora of Jamaica here in St. Martin, I requested through that meeting that also was present in a virtual meeting the Prime Minister of Curaçao and the Prime Minister of Aruba. I proposed and requested the Minister of Foreign Affairs for us as a kingdom to do our part in assisting Jamaica, realizing that our people know exactly what it means, what the people of Jamaica are passing through. I have good news that the warship Pelican that is part of the Navy of the Kingdom has arrived on the 4th of November in Jamaica, bringing a lot of goods, especially food and medication, all the preliminary basic needs that humankind needs after the devastation of a hurricane. The warship Pelican arrived on the 4th of November in Jamaica, delivering a lot of goods. And by the way, that's not the only one. After delivering the first batch, Pelican left to Barbados again to refill and go back to assist the people of Jamaica. And I'm very thankful to the whole kingdom for their contribution to Jamaica, especially realizing also that the Jamaicans here at St. Martin is also forming part of our nation, and they're well represented as a diaspora here in St. Martin. Secondly, a second topic that I have discussed to elaborate a little on the ongoing seemingly a tension field between government and the fire and ambulance department. I said seemingly because from the side of government, there is no hard feelings, no tension feelings towards the fire and ambulance department. In contrary, this government is realizing that for the past years, there has been a neglect of the personnel of the fire and ambulance department. These hardworking people have been knocking at the door of government for years. And they don't like me to say that, but also those in parliament that had 4 years before me to solve that problem were also confronted with the same request that they came back to my government for me to solve with them. And for that, I want to say that we are committed and we are in negotiation, but there are some misunderstanding about moving forward. First of all, I have received a letter from the WICSU, and I reacted on that letter on the 24th. It all comes to the following. The members of the fire department would like to have 3 agreements with government. One is the concept of the function book, that's one, the topic function book. The second one is the placement process, and the third one is the retroactive payment. On these 3 topics, there has been a letter from me directed to the president of the union WICSU, in which I commit in that letter to agree with the topic of, and I will further give more explanation about the function book, but I agreed with the function book, I agreed with the placement process, and I agreed with the process for the retroactive payment. Secondly, on the 5th of November, a second letter went from me to the union, reiterating again our commitment and agreement about the topic function book placement process, and retroactive payment. In a letter dated November the 7th, I make a comprehensive
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah, your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, Com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
St. Martin, as heavy rain falls across our region, we urge all residents and visitors to exercise caution and stay alert. Here are the areas prone to street flooding, flash floods, and/or rock slides. Avoid these locations until water levels subside. Atillage Road Roundabout, Cul-de-Sac. Arch Road, Sucker Garden. Beacon Hill Road, Simpson Bay. Atillage Road, Border Monument, Belvedere, Lower Princess Quarter. Billy Folly Road, Coal Bay. Emma Plain, Phillipsburg. L.B. Scott Road, Cul-de-Sac. Rhine Road, Lowlands. Welhelican Road, Low K Roundabout, Cahill, Little Bay. Well Road, Wellington Road, and Orange Grove Road, Coal Bay. Yancho Rousquin Boulevard, Point Blanche, and Sakersgut Road, Cul-de-Sac. Remember, safety comes first. Let's work together to keep our community safe. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Communication.
This year's theme, Sankofa, called us to reflect on the past to inform the future. As our country continues to develop, we must recognize that the past is not a place we must live in, but harness lessons from. In order to do better, act better, and more importantly for us as public officials, govern more efficiently and thus effectively. I call on all St. Martiners to reflect on the part that we can each individually play to ensure a sustainable future for all. I am pleased to announce the scheduled roadworks on Billy Folly Road, commonly referred to as Pelican Road in Simpson Bay. The works will commence tomorrow, Thursday, November 13th, and are expected to be completed by Friday, December 5th, pending weather conditions. For this period, a partial one-lane road closure will be in effect Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The project will be executed by Windward Roads Infrastructure. In the governing program's entry for VROMI, private-public partnerships are regarded as vital for the future development of St. Martin. The realization of this rehabilitation is possible thanks to the support of the following businesses and stakeholders: Simpson Bay Resort, Flamingo Hilton, The Atrium, La Vista, Simpson Bay Suites, Baker Suites, Market Garden, SMTA, Hollywood Casino, Splash Jewelry, Aquamania, Tipwee Residences, Dollar Thrifty, Buccaneers Beach Bar, Pelly Deli, and Sunset Spa, who have collectively raised $496,500 to complement government's contribution of $94,000 for this initiative. The Ministry of Rummy is currently finalizing a framework to regulate partnerships going forward. But I wish to acknowledge the commitment of these entities, as well as the Prime Minister and the Minister of TEAT, noting their commitment to corporate social responsibility, especially in light of government's limited financial capacities to carry out critical infrastructural works. I also wish to inform the public that similar initiatives are being negotiated for other infrastructure projects, and of course, this will be shared as they are finalized. The Ministry of Rummy requests the cooperation of all road users and thanks the public for their patience as improvements are made to ensure a safer and more durable road network. The Government of St. Martin invites all residents to attend a public consultation for the St. Martin Wastewater Management Project, SWAMP, on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, starting at 6 p.m. at Bel Air Community Center. The St. Martin Wastewater Management Project, co-funded by the St. Martin Trust Fund and the Government of St. Martin to the tune of $25 million, aims to improve the island's sewage network and enhance the corporate operation of the ATLH Road Wastewater Treatment Plant. Currently, St. Martin's sewage network covers only a few neighborhoods, and the existing plant operates at approximately 65% of its potential capacity. The project seeks to support protecting public health and safeguard St. Martin's surface water, groundwater, and coastal areas from pollution, helping to preserve the island's natural environment and support a sustainable tourism economy. One of the key components is the expansion of the sewage network in the cul-de-sac area, allowing more households to connect to the public system and reduce reliance on septic tanks. During this public consultation, attendees can expect to learn more about the project's design, timeline, and of course, its benefits. The session will also include a presentation discussion on the environmental and social impact assessment, highlighting potential environmental and community impacts due to the project, along with proposed mitigation measures. Your feedback and input are vital. They will help shape the final project design and guide the future of wastewater management on St. Martin, ensuring a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable island for all. So once again, Wednesday, December 10th, 6 p.m. at the Bel Air Community Center. Rummy is continuing its work on all housing matters. 2 months ago, the ministry submitted its final comments on the new housing policy, and we'll be holding a final meeting with the consultants next Wednesday. Regular meetings with the Housing Foundation to address inventory, procedures, as well as future projects are ongoing. I wish to also confirm that the government is awaiting the transfer of funds from the Netherlands for the purchase of a parcel of land referred to as Remainder Belvedere Estate. In anticipation of the deposit and considering the timeline, the advice for the purchase of the parcel of land is making its rounds for approval, and I'll provide more information on this at the next press briefing.
Your social and health insurance is Your social and health insurance is.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com. SXM Daily News.
Minister, welcome. I know we've just come off a really intense week of meetings and site visits. And you have two projects with the World Bank, the Swamp Project, which is the wastewater project, EDMP, which is the waste project. So I want to focus on the waste project today. Can you talk a bit about, the next steps in the project?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ilba. I think it's quite a number of steps, and I think what we have to focus on is what we're going to do in the next coming months. Definitely a focus on the legal and financial reforms. That's really critical in terms of building in a sustainability to what we want to do. But I think most importantly for the ministry as a whole is focusing really in the next steps on how we look at the transition long term. As we know, EDMP is focusing very much on the intervention on the landfill, but to complement that, you need a sustainable waste future. And that's really about how we transition towards things like recycling, overall diversion, how we look at what we're going to do with our waste in the future. So that's really the next steps we have to take to make this really a success.
And I know St. Martin has unique challenges when it comes to waste. And then, of course, you have the natural disasters or an island and so on. Based on what you've seen in DC and other sites, what are some solutions you think might be helpful?
Yeah, I think one of the things, what we've seen with DC and also, any small community as a whole, is the need for collaboration and cooperation. We share a unique island where we have to look at working with the French. I think that's really critical. It's also very important to look from the point of view of beyond our own island, regional collaboration, stakeholder engagement. That's really critical because at the end of the day, when you kind of have economies of scale and you have more people involved, ideas come together much better, and also resources. Yeah.
So picking up on that point of engagement, how important is community involvement in the solutions?
Yeah, this project really needs the community engagement. I think it's been this long story of that waste is a government's problem. Really and truly, if you look at waste, it's a collective responsibility. How we dispose of our waste really impacts things like our economy, our tourism product, but most importantly, it really impacts health and our quality of life. And I think for us, we have a whole entire slogan around this project called "It Takes All of Us," because really and truly, it's making everyone realize that without their engagement, without their buy-in, without their kind of collaboration, we're not going to have a successful waste project. So it's really about engaging the community, having everybody realize that they do have to play and pay their part as well to make this really a success.
What is one practical step that Romy is taking right now?
So I think in the next coming months, what we're really going to be focusing on and what is critical going forward is diversion. The project is well underway. We already have come to the near steps of putting something together towards the physical product intervention. I think the next big step that's really critical now is how we look at transition through diversion. So we already have a couple of pilot projects we're working on to have launched in the next couple of months. That's going to really focus basically on things like recycling, composting, as critical steps, because when we close the landfill, the reality is what do we do with the waste? And one really big way of this is kind of diversion and creating a circular economy, realizing that it's a collective responsibility, but it's also collective opportunities, and looking at waste as something that very much has value compared to how we see it currently. And that's really going to be the focus in the coming months, of practical steps in terms of these pilot projects towards that transition and bringing about a sustainable waste management system for the future.
In observation of World Food Day, the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs organized a one-day cooking class for families on Saturday, October 18th at the Sundial School. With us, we had the cooking instructor, Ms. Makiba Gibbs, who led the class and taught them different recipes from scratch.
My name is Makiba Gibbs, one of the 3 hospitality teachers here at the Sundial School. Our focus was on creating simple, healthy meals using ingredients that can be found in just any kitchen. Together, we prepared a delicious 2-course menu featuring 2 appetizer options and a hearty main dish. We began by preparing our fresh vegetables, carrots, cabbage, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and onions. With everything washed, peeled, and diced, we move on to our pasta dough. Participants measured flour and eggs, kneaded the dough until smooth, and set it aside to rest. Next, we turned to our vegetable spring rolls. The filling, shredded carrots and cabbage, was seasoned and sautéed lightly. Once cooled, it was wrapped neatly into rolls and gently fried until golden and crisp. While the rolls rested, we prepared our protein. The chicken was cut into small pieces, seasoned, sautéed, and set aside, ready for the creamy pasta. Then it was time to roll out our rested pasta dough. Each participant flattened and sliced the dough into thin noodles, which were boiled, drained, and set aside. In a separate pan, we built a rich sauce with butter, garlic, onions, and heavy cream, and seasoned to taste. The chicken and fresh pasta were added to the sauce and left to simmer gently. Meanwhile, our pumpkin soup was simmering with all its fresh ingredients: pumpkin, sweet potato, onion, and seasonings until perfectly soft. Once tender, it was blended until silky smooth. Finally, it was plating time. Creamy chicken pasta, velvety pumpkin soup, and the crispy spring rolls all came together beautifully. Our participants not only enjoyed a flavorful meal, but they also gained knowledge and experience in sustainable, budget-friendly cooking.
So I am happy to report that the one-day cooking class was a huge success. The project brought together several families who came together for bonding to connect, and they were able to learn new recipes. A highlight of the project was when we noticed that various families was recording and even broadcasting their experience to share it with their communities and family. Another benefit was that the project was able to provide additional meals for persons in the community.